Okay, so I have had a number of folks in the comments ask questions in regards to what's going to happen when support for Windows 10 comes to an end back up here at, was it October 14th, 2025. Will my G1, G2, 4, etc. continue to work? Will I be able to upgrade to Windows 11? Can I upgrade now? How can I upgrade when I'm running older hardware with older CPUs and maybe TPM 1.2, etc., etc.? So I thought this might be good to have a discussion about sort of the reality and what it is and what's going to work and what currently works and what the future holds for that older hardware. So first of all, I want to say is that if you've got a G4 or newer, you should be fine because you're using you've got TPM 2.0, you've got a processor that's on the list of supported processors, as example like the i5 8500T, i5 9500T, etc. If you've got a G1, G2, G3, even if you've got G3 with an i7 7700 or 7700T and have already done the upgrade to TPM 2.0, technically you are running on non-supported hardware. But I can tell you that you're looking at a video that is being filmed and edited and the whole shebang on a G3 i5 7500T that gets updates every month, including the .NET upgrades, sometimes a driver upgrade, the whole thing. And, I've never been told I can't use it because it's on unsupported. Plus, I have run Windows 11 on G1s, G2s, even the G1 260, which is such an older quirky machine. I've done a full install on that machine without a problem. So those that might be telling you, oh, don't buy that old software, or excuse me, that old hardware, you won't be able to get Windows 11 on it. No, I have yet to find something that would not run Windows 11. Granted, of course, you're going to need the license for it, but thankfully for most of the machines that folks out there have, they already have an embedded license for Windows 10 Pro or something that can be upgraded to Windows 11. What becomes a little trickier is if you have Windows 10 currently running on your machine and you want to upgrade it as opposed to doing a fresh install. Now, my recommendation is just to do a fresh install of Windows 11 on that machine. And one reason I would do a fresh install is this is on Microsoft's own page, which talks about ways to install Windows 11. And it talks about doing fresh and doing an upgrade, etc., etc. But down here has this little box that says important. An image install, which basically means a fresh install, will not check for the following requirements: TPM 2.0. It does say that at least TPM 1.2 is required, so that's fine. And most of what the units out there have at least the 1.2. But it's not going to look at the CPU family and model. So you can have that i5 4th gen and it's still going to install without a problem. If you decide to do a upgrade of Windows 10, that's when you start getting things where it's going to throw up this big, this PC doesn't meet the minimum requirements, and by doing this you can void your warranty and blah 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 blah, just to scare you. And what you're going to have to do is do a registry hack in order so that it even allows it to go through. Now watch my video on installing or upgrading to Windows 11 Pro on a G1, G2, G3. that will kind of walk you through things like TPM and setting this registry and the whole 9 yards if you're going to do that. But again, my recommendation is if you can save off the stuff you have and then just do a fresh install and then just reinstall your software. The other option is you just stay with Windows 10. Now, if you're worried, okay, I go to Windows 10, what about the security updates, etc., etc., one thing you can do is that if you're willing to shell out $30, you can get this extended security update. And so for one more year, which will give you through to October of 2026, you'll at least get critical and important security updates. You're not going to get... They're not going to be working on, bug fixes and other sorts of stuff. But at least if there's that, gosh, we found something that was discovered and you've got to get this update to Windows 10. Otherwise, the next time you try to run whatever, then you're at risk of getting malware and someone taking over your computer, et cetera, all the things we kind of hear about. So at least for that $30, you would have that peace of mind that, okay, Microsoft's going to scramble, get that fix, and you can do the download. So that's one way. I personally really like Windows 11. I find it a little zippier than Windows 10, especially on some of the older units. A couple months back, I was using Windows 11 on a G1, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty fast considering you're on a fourth gen chip, and it was fine. So I really would recommend, if you're on the fence, if you're worried about the going forward. I mean, really, if you've got Windows 10 now, your only real option is really to go to Windows 11 or completely abandon or take the risk. But I think going the Windows 11 route makes a lot more sense. Now, you're going to hear a lot of folks say, oh, but you're on old stuff, and don't you worry that you're not going to get updates and this and that. The only thing that I've seen that came from Microsoft was that they may not, and this is always a may, it's like they may not give you, let's say you're on Windows 11 2H 2.2, and I forget how they do their sort of internal thing, but let's say you're on 2H 2.2 and they come out with 2H 3.3. Well, maybe they wouldn't have it available right away for everybody, but I don't know, you can always, again, get these updates. If you truly needed something, you can always download the ISO and do a fresh install.